and the frequencies of higher energies are coming in. We're having these sudden awakenings. And they might be psychic dreams, they might be a car accident, they might be someone gets up and walks out of your life and says, "See ya, Fido, I'm done with you." And whatever it is, all of a sudden you have to think, well, maybe I'm affecting others. Maybe. So that's the frequency of physical ego. Now, the next frequency is the frequency of the soul body. Now, the soul body is a psychic frequency. It is the summary and summation of all your lives, your entire soul history. But let's break that down, his story. It's all of your experiences, your story, what you have gone through. And that may or may not have been a conscious experience. It's just an experience. So within the frequency of that, there are feelings about your gifts, and there are feelings about past lives, and we might have had something, and I gotta do this, but it's not terribly clear. It feels like there's more to you than present time. There's this whole frequency that's trying to come in. You're often self-examining and wondering and trying to meditate or talk or try to pull the story in because you're trying to get to the gold or the good stuff. And people often don't go beyond that, but there's an element of that gets very bloated, and it moves slowly, and when you're in soul frequency, you're not present. You're not putting the moment of power being in the now. And so you're glamorizing the experience instead of going into it like a huge library going, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll use these tools, these are the things that I'm good at, I'll leave the rest. So soul is not to be confused with spirit. Spirit is like a clear bell. It's like a crystal chime. Spirit is a clear fire. It is a divine presence of in the moment. It is your timeless, pure self. When you are in the spirit, there is no memory. Everything is available in the moment. All your gifts just come shooting through. There's no story because nothing is more exciting than now. There's no drama because all the creativity, we know we want to harness the power in the moment. When you're in spirit, you're light. You look light. There's a light in your eyes. When you're in soul, when you're in spirit, you're in the sun of yourself. And when you're in the soul, you're in the moon of yourself. So that's an interesting and important thing to distinguish. And we don't have to worry about the soul experiences unless they're trying to provide us fuel for our sun, for our fire, for our light in the moment. And here's another exciting thing to know. Science, and actually even here in Chicago, at the University of Chicago, they're breaking down the atoms and coming up with this understanding that there is something in the energetic field of human beings called neophotons. These are lights. These are atoms of light. And you can see them when you say, God, you look bright today. That's the spirit, and it is such a dynamic and attractive and empowering frequency. And they shine and they light your face up, and they light your eyes up, and they light your field up, and they're so attractive. Because the essence of these little neophotons is love, which is what the spirit is. And when a person is in this frequency, you become absolutely irresistible. irresistible. You're like the Pied Piper. And you have that charisma, that attraction, because people just want to be in love. And when you're in the soul frequency, those photons go down. You have almost a heaviness about you, really. Sort of a self-fascination. And it's important for us to go in and out of the soul. But it's like a library. Just go get what you need. It's your laboratory. Don't hang out there. You miss the party. You're going to miss the parade. And you're supposed to lead it. So think about, would you say you have many neophotons? Would you ever be, have people said to you, wow, you're so bright. You light me up. You're just sparkling. Because you really are. And our consciousness is getting more and more aware, so it's starting to pick up these subtle vibrations. And so we may not consciously know what they are because we haven't been introduced, they haven't really been labeled, but we feel them. We feel them. And that's the spirit. And so when we're in that spirit, we shine. And when we shine, it's like throwing a light on in the dark room, in the dark theater. And when you're in soul, you're not in the light. When you're in soul, you're kind of over in the shadowy stuff. And there's no power in the soul. There's only power in the spirit. You can draw from your soul history. I have a clear understanding of my soul history. When I do readings for people, I share their soul history. But only with the point, bring this forward, use this. That doesn't work. Stop doing that, because that's a strategy that worked in the history but isn't power in the moment. But I think, from my experience and my observations, we can tell the difference between when we're in soul and when we're in spirit. We know. We're not nearly as unconscious as we're comfortable pretending. We're pretty clear. So I invite you to actually articulate something that we just haven't been speaking about. I invite you to actually, again, turn to the people around you and name where your life is in soul, which is drama, and where your life is in spirit, which is exuberance. When I'm teaching, I am in spirit.